Thank you, Jonathan. Well, we had two very busy days in the recent hours, and many of you saw the signs of enough in the halls and around the auditorium, and you ask yourself, what is it? Some of us has the sign of enough on our jacket. Well, I would like to reveal the secret right now.
We start with the breaking news out of Paris.
The world is reacting tonight to a terrorist attack and panic tonight on Barcelona's most famous
explosion at Brussels airport.
It seems international terrorism is winning. The opposite is true. A single terror attack may take the lives of dozens of people, but a single inspiring survivor can affect the lives of millions. For that to happen, the narrative must change. Worldwide, we're here to say enough. Let's win terrorism together. We're here to celebrate the victories of the bold, of the resilient, of the inspiring. We're here to dismantle fear. We're here to defy terror together as one movement. Enough with the media empowering terror. Enough with telling the wrong stories. Enough with being victims. We're here to say enough today to create a better tomorrow.
Thank you. The secret, the big secret is that ICT is opening a new initiative that hopefully will be a change of reality. We are establishing a global social network online under the name of Enough. The slogan that we use is Enough is Enough, or Enough to Terrorism. And this network, global network, will be based on a few assumptions. The first assumption is that there is an overwhelming silent majority of people globally that they differ in their views, in their political views. They are coming from different cultures. They are coming from different continents. They adhere to different religions. But they have one thing in common, at least one thing in common, and this is they are all standing against the phenomenon of terrorism. I think that everybody in this room actually represent this silent majority, or not so silent when it deals with experts like you. And we would like to give them the platform to speak out. We would like to give them the platform that will end the silence in this regard. We hope that Enough will include millions of people, Muslims, Jews, Christians, all over the world, that will, regardless of their gender, race, and so on and so forth, would adhere to those specific goals. They will protest together against terrorism and against those who conduct terrorist activity. They will extend resilience of the international public. They will contribute to prevention of terrorist attacks and of incitement for terrorism. And they will identify with the victim of terrorism. Let me explain if you like, the scholarly or the rationale behind this idea. Modern terrorism strategy is a strategy in which the terrorists are trying to influence three types of audiences. The internal public opinion that they claim to represent, and they are trying to gain their support, regardless, by the way, which terrorist, in what conditions. The targeted public population, those that they are attacking, they want to spread fear and anxiety among them. And the international public opinion which they would like to influence them by dragging their attention. Enough would actually try to prevent those three aspects of modern terrorism strategy. Okay, did I do something wrong? Okay, never mind, it's okay. So we need to have a common denominator, a baseline. And the baseline is a joint definition of terrorism. Those who knows me knows that I'm trying to push this definition forward for many years, not with a lot of success in persuading politicians and decision makers to adopt that. So, based on my disappointment from the politicians, I'm trying actually to reach out to the global silent minority in this regard. And the definition that we use is terrorism is the deliberate use of violence aimed against civilian targets by non-state actors in order to achieve political ends. It could be different types of political ends, different ideologies. We don't believe in hate crimes. Hate is an ideology. So, under this definition, we are saying that we are going to prevent the impact that the terrorists are trying to achieve with their own internal public opinion. We will limit the support as much as we can that they are craving to get. And this is based on understanding terrorism as a political violence phenomenon, as a social phenomenon in which the terrorists are craving for social support and claiming that they are altruists, they are ready to give sometimes their life for a greater purpose, for a greater crowd altogether. Enough members will express their protest online in different languages and would oppose terrorism everywhere, wherever it's being conducted, whenever it's being conducted, and for what reason is being conducted, because we are saying there is no justice that can justify terrorism. As for the targeted population, in which the terrorists are trying to spread fear and anxiety, the message of enough to the masses would be resilience. We would adhere, we would call for millions of members around the world that together will stand resilient against terrorism. We will strengthen their resilience and will be empowered by the courageous victims of terrorism. But we would like to argue that when we talk about victims of terrorism, it's not limited just to those who died in terrorist attacks or were injured. We are saying that if you died in a terrorist attack, you are a victim of terrorism. If you were injured in a terrorist attack, you are a victim of terrorism. If a friend or a family member of yours was a victim of terrorism, you are a victim of terrorism. If you are terrified from a terrorist attack, you are a victim of terrorism. If you change your way of life because of terrorism, you are a victim of terrorism. If you are concerned with the safety of your loved ones because of terrorism, you are a victim of terrorism. If you saw a terrorist attack and you identify with the suffering of the victims, you are a victim of terrorism. If you think it could have been me or somebody that I care for, you are a victim of terrorism. And again, yes, my friends, we are all victims of terrorism. In reference to the international public opinion, we are arguing that we are going to change the narrative. This misleading narrative that says that one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighters. The message of enough is one man's terrorist is all men terrorists. And terrorism is terrorism is terrorism, regardless who's the perpetrator and what is the reason behind it. So, in this regard, what we are planning to do is support victims of terrorism and together to contribute to prevention of terrorism. How this can be done? So we are planning few campaigns and probably many more. Those are the first campaigns that we plan. The first campaign under the slogan of Enough Brothers and Sisters, which we argue that every victim of terrorism is the whole world. Well, here we would identify with the suffering of victims all over the world, and we give the ability to the members of Enough to light a candle in the memory of a victim, or give a virtual flower to a family of victims of terrorism. Another campaign that we plan under the title of Enough Guardians. Here, we are planning to contribute to cleaning the internet and the cyberspace from incitement. If we identify incitement for terrorism, we will report to the authorities and to the social networks in order to help them to clean the internet from that. And the most active initiative or campaign would be Enough Activists. Here we are expecting our members to contribute to prevention of terrorist attacks, and I refer as an example to the attack that was in Christchurch, where the terrorist was using live GoPro camera with the live coverage on live Facebook, and they had a problem to find it. We will build millions of people that will serve as the eyes and the ears of the authorities and will help to shorten those attacks earlier than it has been before. So we are actually launching today an ambitious initiative. It's the eve of 9/11, and we don't find a better time to launch this type of initiative. We hope that it will change the reality and it will create this global social network that many, many people will join. We do it with the support of good friends of ours from a company which is called Inspiration. Inspiration actually opened already the last week few social networks in different languages under the title of Enough. And we do it in English, we do it in Spanish, we do it in French. And we plan also to open other social networks in Arabic and other languages worldwide. So I would like to thank any of you that already went to the booth of Enough in the last 2 days and actually joined by giving a statement. We video clip some of the people. We are going to use that as an example in different languages altogether. Those that are interested in joining and participating in this initiative, I urge you to do it in the coming 2 days. We'll have the booth in the campus in Herzliya, in the IDC Herzliya. And those who cannot do it and still interested, you have the email that you can email, and we will see to it that you will join us. I would like to conclude with another short clip that explains the initiative, and we'll conclude with that.
We are citizens that express global protest, irrespective of race, religion, and gender, against the phenomenon of terrorism.
Enough est unique en son genre, le premier réseau humain de lutte antiterroriste.
Enough está liderado y empoderado por valientes víctimas del terrorismo, quienes a pesar del duro golpe que sufrieron, están aquí vivos, victoriosos e inspiradores.
And we are coming back on the air right now with more on that horrifying night in Paris. Police have now confirmed at least 4 attacks in the city of Paris.
Le terrorisme est de toute manière une méthode absolument inacceptable de faire avancer quelque chose que ce soit. Il faut trouver le courage de vivre, et le courage de vivre, je l'ai trouvé dans le soutien des miens, mais aussi dans l'engagement que j'ai eu. C'est aussi pour cela qu'aujourd'hui je souhaite m'engager avec Enough Terrorism, comme je le fais avec d'autres organisations de par le monde, avec tous ceux qui sont de bonne volonté et qui me paraissent mener de bons combats avec les bonnes méthodes pour éradiquer ce fléau épouvantable.
If If you feel your life is affected by terrorism and you wish to fight it by standing strong and empower others, join our global community movement and say enough. Enough. Winning terrorism worldwide.
Please join us and please say with us, enough is enough. Thank you very much.